Hey SEC family, thank you for joining me for another video devotion. Today I want to talk to you about, get this, how to fight fair in your marriage. Maybe you're able to watch this with your spouse. That would be great. You know you're going to want to share it with your spouse. If you want to pause and go get them, that's okay. I want to talk about how to have a happy marriage, and part of that is learning how to fight fair. Even the healthiest marriages have disagreements. We can disagree without being disagreeable. We can argue without assassinating. When we're in a conflict situation, we need to establish some ground rules. There are certain verbal phrases that are off limits, no matter how upset or how angry we are. So I want to give you the 7 rules for fighting fair. Number 1, never compare. When we're in the middle of a conflict, we should never say, why can't you be like Joe's wife or Sue's husband? Or even worse, you're just like fill in the blank, your mom or my mom. A penalty flag should be thrown every time we utter those words. It's unfair to compare. Second thing, never condemn. We shouldn't use absolutes. You always, you never, it's all your fault. You should be ashamed. Condemning doesn't work. Jesus says, I didn't come to condemn the world, but to save it. We can't change people by labeling or condemning. Some people claim, well, I just tell it like it is. They put their hand on their hip. I just tell it like it is. Look, don't tell it like it is. Tell it like it could be. Third rule, never command. We shouldn't try to end an argument by force. I had a couple come into my counseling office one time when I used to do counseling. Husband says to me, with his wife sitting right there, Pastor, if you just tell her, everything would be just fine if you just tell her to submit and obey. I thought to myself, have I ever had somebody so stupid in my office ever before? Couldn't think of one. They got a divorce pretty quickly after that. If you're forceful and command your spouse to obey, you really don't have a marriage. It's something else. Never command. Rule number 4, never challenge. We shouldn't threaten people. You just try that and see what happens. It's kind of like, I dare you. Typically in marriage, threats come in 3 areas: money, sex, and divorce. The Bible instructs us not to use any of these 3 as a weapon against our mates. Never challenge. 5th rule, never condescend. We shouldn't belittle our spouse. We especially shouldn't belittle their feelings. You're crazy. Don't be a baby. You're a wuss. You're a wimp. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't feel that way. That's a big one. Never condescend. 6th rule. Having fun yet? 6th rule. Never contradict. We shouldn't contradict everything they say. They say, well, it took me 15 minutes to find my keys. Really? Like 15? I don't think it was 15. Maybe 5, maybe 10. And you contradict every little thing. That drives people crazy. Finally, number 7, never confuse. Some people are brilliant at confusing. They know how to bring up unrelated issues. When they're losing a particular point and they know it, they quickly switch tracks to someplace from left field. When we're dealing with conflict, we really need to stick with the issue. It's very important we keep thinking, what's the issue here? What are we really dealing with here? Look, if we apply these 7 rules for fighting fair, I think it'll help us to follow this verse that says don't use harmful words in talking. Ephesians 4:29 says don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. This verse applies to our spouses and really to our children, our family, more than anyone else. I'm praying for you. I love you. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you share this with your spouse. God bless you.